Welcome to the Dare to Share Challenge. We have got another incredible guest lined up for you today, waiting in the wings. If you've stumbled across this show and you're wondering what is going on, the Dare to Share show is all about the real and raw leaders movement. It's about pulling back the curtains, removing all of the smoke and mirrors, dropping the facades that we see online, and actually seeing the human behind the perception so that you realize everyone that you look up to, everyone that inspires you, they're really no different to you and I. They're navigating exactly the same things. They're experiencing exactly the same feelings, thoughts, and emotions as you and I are. And now we get to hear it all. So with that being said, Bea-Marie, welcome to the stage.
Aw, thank you so much for having me. This is really, really exciting.
And I love the cords. We're both in our black and red, getting ready to dare to share.
Yeah. I tried to match with your brand colors, you know.
I appreciate it. I'm here for it. So Bea, before we dive in, I want to ask you, what made you say yes to coming onto this show, onto this platform? Because a lot of people love the idea, they love the concept, they love the movement, but actually braving the stage, it's a step too far. It's a little bit too vulnerable. It's a little bit too stretchy for them. But you were like, yes, I'm here, let's go. What made you say, come on, I'm ready for it?
So, first of all, I love you. I think you're incredible. And I think that whatever you're pulling off, whatever you're creating is just massive. So when I first saw it and heard about it, I was like, that sounds really cool. And then there was this little tiny voice saying, like what many people, you know, experience, like this, ooh, nah, ew. Do you want to have people in my closet, you know, sniffing around there? Not sure about that. But then I was like, yeah, but this is what it's about. This is what it's about, being a leader. Like you said in the intro, you know, I look up to so many amazing people, and then all of a sudden I see a story where their kids are going completely bananas and they're just like, yeah, and you're like, wow, they're struggling just as I am.
Yes.
And that feels so relieving. That feels so good. Not in a way like, ha, but in a way that, you know, you don't feel so alone. Yeah. You know, when I became a mother, I felt so alone the first time because I thought I was the only one struggling with this. Because everybody else on Instagram was so happy-go-lucky, and like, look at my kids, they're all dressed up and they look so nice and they never get dirty, and look at their hair. And my kid was like all over the place, always
arrows running around
everywhere. And for me, this was like, for some reason, you know, we're so programmed with social media and stuff that we believe that everything that is there is the norm. But it's not. And yes, of course, to be honest, I do not like to share my messy moments. In that moment, I'm like, oh God, I'm so happy that there's no camera right there. I'm so happy, you know, that my neighbors are on vacation right now because my kid is, you know, running through the garden crying for help because her mother is trying to put on his pants. You know, he's like, ah! I go, oh God, nobody's here, good. So we're all in this, you know, we have the same struggles, we have the same problems. So that's why I thought, yeah, why not come on, especially in this time right now, and share what's happening.
I love this so much. You've really hit the nail on the head about the heart of the whole movement, because it is just that. We see so much online and we ridiculously believe that is everyone's normal, but it's not. And this is how we get to start to change that and to see that, you know what, everyone is experiencing the same things. And the more leaders that come on here and share that, the more we empower everyone to realize that, oh, okay, so I can do it too. That's what it's all about. I love this so much. Okay, are you ready to dive in? Okay. She's ready. I love it. Oh my God, I knocked my camera over. Oh my God, okay. Oh my God, I'm crying. Okay, you guys, I just knocked my camera over. We were dancing around in so much excitement, so I'm gonna stay still. And let's dive in. So we are gonna ask Bea which level of vulnerability she's gonna opt for today. Let's do it. So Bea, we have two options for you. We have the stretchy level of vulnerability, which is your hero's journey. It's part of your story. It's something that you've experienced, you've overcome, you're out the other side, but it's a story that is good to share, right? People need to hear it. Or we have the extreme level. And the extreme level really is extreme. It's about sharing something that you're experiencing, that you're navigating, that you're going through in real time right now. Where do you want to take us today?
I kind of feel like I'm at Ninja Warrior, you know? Like, it's like, dude, which path do you take? This one or this one? This one or this one? So since I'm here, I'm gonna do the extreme. Let's dive in.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it. I love when people come onto this show and they push themselves, because this is leadership, right? It's saying, you know what, this feels freaking uncomfortable, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's do it. So question number one, Bea, I feel like I'm on a TV show now, is what does being a real and a raw leader mean to you? And we're not just talking about in business, we're talking about as a human, as a mother, as a woman, as an individual in your own right. That realness and that rawness, what does it mean to you in your everyday life?
Oh, I love this question, because this is actually a question that I ask myself daily. Like, who do I want to be? Who do I want to show up as? And for me, a real and raw leader means to be honest, to be vulnerable, and to also say when you have no idea what you're doing. Because yeah, we are all trained to just, be polished, be nice, be on this surface level of, I've got everything under control. That's how I started. That's how I started my business. Because when I had thought I had figured out motherhood, I thought, I'm Superwoman. Yes, I can do everything, But then I realized being Superwoman, being a hero, being a real leader means asking for help. Means saying, I have no idea what I'm doing. I see that you are exactly the person that I need right now to help me. Please help me. And sometimes we just stand in the middle of the room and we're like, hello? Can somebody please help me? No? Okay, then I'm going to do it by myself. Yeah. And we're wondering why we're stuck. We're wondering why we're not moving forward. And for me, it just means taking this extra step of courage and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know. And there are some people that are ahead of you already on this journey who have navigated that and say, I've been there. I've done this. Maybe this helps you too. Just like you're doing with this movement right now. Like, we're sharing here so that others might navigate the rapids a little bit more easy. So real and raw leadership means, for me, being honest, being authentic, showing up as you are. And that probably jumps ahead right now, but right now, is a really, really expansive time, to say it lightly. We're in the Lionsgate portal. There was a new moon in Leo. We're in the midst of a huge firestorm right now. And I've decided this is such a good way to help people navigate this and create an expansion week to help people, because in the last 6 months, I have expanded so much. I have jumped through one expansion into the next. And it was like this, whew, okay, I think I'm done now. Ooh, no, I'm not done. And it was this, and in between, there was still my family, there was still my work, there was still, everything, my business, my clients. And I tried to navigate this and, put on a brave face, be there for others, because this is what I've learned all my life. Being there for others, conditioned to look at others first. So in this time right now, like this morning I woke up and I was aware that we're doing this, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? Like, why in the world am I navigating this for myself this time? Because, I'm not away from space and time. I'm in this shit here as well. And then I have this group of amazing people who are navigating this as well right now, who I'm leading, guiding through this time a little bit. And then I'm coming here and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's share about this.
Yes. Which brings us on nicely to the main question, because I know you're it's like exploding out of you. So let's do it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Bea-Marie, what are you willing to dare to share with us all today?
Okay, I'm going to share with you a little story. I'm going to share with you a story that I have told a lot of times already, but what is coming up again and again. And before I start, I want to make sure that you're familiar with the spiral of life. Like, imagine a spiral. It's coming up from below and it's moving up. And we start somewhere down here, and then we're moving up the spiral. We're always moving up. We're never moving down. We're always moving up. And then all of a sudden here, we face something, a challenge, a problem, an emotional, whatever, and we work through this. We heal it. We do everything to unravel this and get unstuck in that moment, and then we move on. And all of a sudden, we're up here, and that same thing hits you again. Why? Because there's still a tiny, tiny part that you have not healed yet. That there's still an aspect that you need to look at. So with this in mind, let's start when I was 7. So you're like, oh, this is good.
I'm leaning in, let's go.
Okay, so I was a very, very expressive child. So what you see right now, I was like 10, 20 gazillion times. You know, I was running around the house all day, singing and dancing and expressing myself, turning our living room into a junkyard because I was reenacting Cats, the musical Cats. And since I have kids, 2 of them, and they are very, very expressive, you always get, Yeah. So, I understand parents a lot, or my parents a lot better, the way they acted, the way they did. My parents were amazing. They were really amazing. They did the best that they could in their time. So my dad one day then said to me when I was running around, dressed up and stuff, he was like, Bea, you have a voice for the ballet. And I thought that's a compliment. I was doing ballet, I was dancing. I was like, yes, I do. And off I went. So, and later, a lot later, I realized, wait a minute, ballet is a silent art. It was like, oh, what did he mean? Oh, whatever. It was just, my dad had a really unique sense of humor. In my 20s, I started understanding his humor. It was brilliant. But when you're little, you don't really understand stuff like that. So, but what this comment, even if it was a joke, even was, it was a poisonous arrow that was in my heart. And it was sitting there and it was growing, and that poison was growing in my heart. And in my mid-30s, this came up. And I traced back every decision that I made from the moment I was 7. And every decision that I made was because of this comment. And it still gets me emotional because it came up again now in this time. That's why I'm sharing this with you. So every decision that I made, I was really good at ballet because I was expressing my feelings. I was expressing my voice through my body. Because what that comment did to me was, your voice doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. It's not worth expressing what you feel. And so when I was 13, I had an accident and I couldn't dance. And it was so devastating for me because I did not have an outlet. I didn't have an outlet for my emotions. I didn't have an outlet for my opinions because I didn't dare to speak. Like, of course I spoke, but why this is coming up now, I'm just going to jump ahead real quick because I met a girl, or now she's a woman, just like me. She was in 9th grade. I was in 8th grade. And she knew everyone in school, really everyone. She was that popular girl, you know, and I looked up to her. I was like, oh my God, she's so cool. She's so freaking cool. And then I met her again when we were in our hometown, and we had this gathering of friends, and my husband, he also knows a lot of people. So, and he knew her, and I was like, oh my God, you know her. And he's like, yeah, of course I know her. You know, we hung out. My husband and I were not at the same school. So just, you know, but anyway. And I talked to her, and I was like, yeah, we were in the same school. I was a year a grade underneath you. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah, you know, you hung out with those people and those people. And well, I hung out with those people. And she was like, oh, I know her. Yeah, but she didn't know me. And the thing is, she could not know me because I wasn't there. I was a bystander. I was looking at everybody else and wishing that I was one of them. And so when I couldn't dance, when I couldn't express myself, acting found me. And that was a savior for me, because all of a sudden I had an outlet. I could express my emotions physically, emotionally, vocally, you know, because I had the textbook of somebody else. I always had the safe space of the character that I played. And for over 25 years, that was my way of expressing myself in the world, until it just didn't work anymore. Until this whole industry was just crumbling on me, like it was suffocating me. Because it was not me, you know? It was not me expressing it. It was the character. It was the character's lines. It was all of that. It was the editing. It was not me. And so I went on this journey, discovered what happened, what you know, sparked everything. And from there on, it was like my mission to just unleash my throat chakra again, you know, open my solar plexus chakra and just, you know, unleash the dragon in me, because there was so much stuck energy and so much stuck emotions. And why I'm telling you all of this, like, we are in the Lionsgate portal. We are in the fiery energy of Leo. And this is coming up again, this imposter syndrome, those beliefs that what I'm saying is not good enough, that in this beautiful expansion week that I'm leading at the moment, you know, like people write me emails afterwards and say, this is so freaking incredible. And still I turn off the camera and it was like, oh my God, was that good enough? Oh my God, did I deliver everything? I go through my notes and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't say this. Oh, nah. And then, you know, I have to detox somewhere. I have to get rid of that. Not rid of that, but transmute it. I have to transmute those voices that are coming up and actually telling me, have you looked at all aspects of this? I'm like, of course not. If you're here, then of course not. And then I'm the one standing in the middle of the room saying, hello, why are you here? What do you want to tell me? What the freak is going on here? And then, because now I'm back into my expression, I am all there. I'm called to sit in silence. And that really makes no sense in my head. You know, it's like this thing. For 30 years, I am fighting this freaking silence. Or not fighting, but I'm transmuting, I'm growing, I'm healing this silence. And all of a sudden, I'm standing here saying hello, and everybody's like, yeah, what? My guides, and, you know, when I say everybody, like everybody around me that is always with me, is like, yeah, why don't you just sit with yourself a little bit? I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. You know, I want a answer to this. You know, take a salt bath, go in nature, like something like that, you know, quick fix, dude, something like that. I've done all of the work. Come on, let's do it. Let's get going here. And I believe that I know that all of us have been at the point where we're like, oh, come on, really? Again? And it feels like you're stepping into the ring, it really feels like you're fighting that version of yourself that's saying, come on, I still got a couple of punches for you.
Yeah.
Oh, and it is so freaking exhausting. And at the same time, it's the greatest pleasure. It's, yes, I bitch about it. And I'm like, I'm not happy about it. And I'm standing here like, all those things coming towards me, and then this comes up, and then this comes up, but it's all connected. And since I have embodied that, that's another thing. 5 years ago, I knew that. I knew it in my head, and I worked through it in my head. But now I have embodied it, and it's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit in silence. I'm going to be with myself. I'm going to integrate all those parts of me, even if I don't like you. But I love you, and that's why you come to me right now. And it is hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying this with a lot of, joke here, and I'm saying this with a lot of ease, but stepping in the ring with your imposter, stepping in the ring with the not healed parts of you, it's not fun. Because that is actually when you have to face yourself and not dip into, I'm a failure. I haven't completely healed that yet. Or I haven't completely grown out of it yet. I haven't grown past it yet. So there's always like another layer that we have to unravel. There's always this other thing that, comes up. Even when you're like, oh, I'm ready. I've been ready my whole life. I'm going in the ring. Yeah, I've seen you before. So, and then there comes another one here from the side and says, yeah, but you haven't seen me yet.
Yeah. You haven't seen nothing yet, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Bea, this is so incredible. And what I'm really taking from this is that, and I say this a lot, mastery, I don't believe is something that we ever achieve. No. Because if we say that we've mastered something, it means that we're saying we've nothing left to learn. And so if we believe that to be true, then that must mean by default that we're always in the messy middle, right? We're always in the messy middle because we're always still learning more. We're always still expanding. We're always still growing by default of not having mastered something. And so when we come back to that sharing of being in the messy middle, it's like embracing whatever version of yourself you are now, no matter what imposters are coming at you, no matter what past experiences that you haven't healed yet are flying your way in front of your face because you need to face it again and again and again. And it's like saying, this is life, this is the journey. And if you're always waiting to be ready, you're going to be waiting forever. You just have to move right now. And that's like what I really got from your share there.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just you, when you say messy middle, it's like, remember the spiral in the beginning? Yeah. The messy middle moves with you.
Yeah.
And the moment that you say, like you say, I mastered it, you're stepping out. It's kind of like you're stepping out of your frame of your life's movie. You're like, no, I've mastered that. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're doing that, if you have really mastered everything, if you are enlightened and, in Buddhism are ready for nirvana, then bless you and congratulations. This is amazing. But I doubt that 90% of people who do that are actually ready for that. I truly believe that is, an old mechanism that makes you run away. Because like you said, Claire, we always have something to learn. Like I consider myself a lifelong learner.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything. If I go to the supermarket, I learn something new when I go to the supermarket, about products, about, sugar intake and all of those products, all about healthy. all of that, but it's this, I have created myself as a sponge.
Yes.
So that I can soak up, that I am ready to receive what the world is giving me.
Yeah.
And I have also not mastered yet, but I have built a system, not a system, it's not a system, but it's this, I'm lost for words right now, but is this, let's call it mechanism, that helps me differentiate between this is something I need right now and this is somebody else's. This is mine. This is not mine. Because in the past, I'd say the past 10 years, when I started coaching, when I started mentoring, I was also a sponge, but I soaked up everything and I thought, oh yeah, give it to me. And I was transmuting basically for the whole world. And it was, I was wondering why I was always exhausted.
Yeah.
Why I was always tired, why I was always, at the edge of my nerves. Until I realized, well, most of that shit is not mine. Most of that is like somebody else's feelings, emotions that I am picking up on. Mm-hmm. So the next time you feel agitated and you don't know why, or frustrated or angry, you're like, oh, why? Look at the people around you. Is there somebody really calm, clenching their fists? Or is there somebody just, biting their lips? Maybe it's theirs. Then you can just give it to them and be like, oh, no, thank you. Thank you.
So powerful to have that awareness as well, isn't it? Of saying, oh, actually, I get to choose whether I take this on or not, because so many people just absorb without realizing they have a choice.
Yes.
Oh my
yes,
God.
We always have a choice. We always have a choice. And that's what I'm also doing in the expansion week, that I'm helping people understand how they can create their reality.
Yeah.
It's not your reality. It's not my reality. It's their reality that they're creating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our realities completely look different.
Yeah. And no one wants the same reality, right? Like, we want the reality that is meant for us. Oh my God, Bea, this is so amazing. On that note, can you tell everyone a bit about your magic and what you do and how they can get into your incredible world?
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So, yes, my name is Bea-Marie. I'm a holistic success guide and expansion mentor. And what I do at the moment, I have created the expansion week. It started 2 days ago. So if you want to, you can still jump on. It runs until Friday. So, but other than that, I have a beautiful membership. It's called the Expansion Circle. For me, it's all about expansion. It is to help you expand into the most abundant version of yourself, the version that you came here to be, to grow back, to expand, to elevate back into that divine being that you already are. And I also have a couple of freebies. So if you drop me a DM in my Instagram, I would love to send you a freebie, because what I also do with my background in acting, it also mixes in with the expansion, is that I help people present on camera, to be confident on camera, and to really show up and master their online presence. Because there's always something to learn, but there are a couple of things that you can do to really, boost your confidence, look really professional, and also have a big impact on your audience just by setting things up.
Amazing. And all of the links will be in the show notes below. So if you're doing other things, don't worry, you can come back to this. Head over into Bea's world right now. Bea, thank you so much for braving the stage today, for showcasing your own real and raw leadership, and truly showing us your vulnerability and your human behind the perception. Much love to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And thank you, guys. I will see you all tomorrow.